The Green Arrow is one of the most famous powerless heroes in the DC universe, aside from like Batman and Robin, maybe Batgirl and Nightwing. Basically, aside from the Bat family, he is the most famous powerless hero. However, much like basically any other hero who doesn't have powers, there are certain storylines, maybe certain universes, where they do. And in this video, I'll be looking at every single time the Green Arrow has gotten superpowers in the Arrowverse multiverse. It hasn't happened that much, like it's not like it's happened a dozen times or something, but I do think it's happened enough to make a video about it. So with that in mind, let's begin. The first one to go over is not actually from Earth 1, the rest are all from Earth 1, but the first one is from Earth 16. The Earth 16 is the universe that the Legends went to during Season 1 of Legend of Tomorrow in Star Study 2046, where they thought they went to some alternate future, but it turns out that we learned in Crisis on Infinite Earths that it was actually an alternate universe, even though there are some differences that are in the Crisis. But anyway, this is a universe where after Deathstroke's uprising during Arrow Season 2, there was later a resurgence of that with the son of Deathstroke, Grant Wilson. Grant Wilson managed to take over Star City, and he managed to cut off Oliver's arm, and this is where his powers come in. Sometime before 2046, Star Labs actually gave Oliver this replacement for his arm in the form of this robotic arm. You can't say this is like an item, it's not really powers. However, I would say that it is a cybernetic enhancement, like the likes of Cyborg definitely has powers, and even Arsenal in the Arrowverse I do think has powers right now in the form of his robotic arm. So this version of Oliver Queen, this version of the Green Arrow does have powers. Now this cybernetic arm isn't really as advanced as the likes of Cyborg, however it does give him enhanced strength in that arm, and I do think that counts. So Arrow managed to go almost 4 years, almost 4 full seasons without giving Oliver any powers, but near the end of Season 4, they did just that. The main villain of the season is Damien Darhk, who in the comics doesn't have powers aside from immortality, but here he has magical abilities. These magical abilities make him way out of Oliver's league, since he can just wave his hand or really just put his hand in front of him and Oliver is like paralyzed, he can't move at all. Like Damien Darhk basically has the Force, so Oliver really can't do anything, and because of this, they basically wrote themselves into a corner, but where Oliver is completely outmatched, and they have to give him powers so there could be some sort of even playing field. So Oliver got in touch near the end of the season with John Constantine. John Constantine referred him to Ezran Fortuna, who was also some sort of magician, and she taught him how to channel his light side. As it turns out, they kind of retroactively made it that Oliver had powers from before he even became the Arrow, as in a flashback from earlier in the season, we saw John Constantine give him his tattoo by using magic to remove it from himself and give it to Oliver. We now learn in this episode that in one of these episodes that this tattoo gave Oliver the ability to channel this form of magic, so he basically had magic from before he even became the Arrow. But using this magic, Oliver is able to cancel out Damien Darhk's abilities and make them more on an even playing field, and using this, he was able to defeat and even kill Damien Darhk. The next time Oliver got powers was during Elseworlds, which is where he got the Flash's powers. Now this is probably the most famous and probably the most, I would say, entertaining time that he got powers, since they definitely pulled it off very, very well. Now what happened here, it definitely has to do with the setup for Crisis on Infinite Earths, as 10,000 years ago the Monitor created the Anti-Monitor mistakenly, and now for the next 10,000 years he has to deal with that. He did imprison him, he did manage to do that, but he knows that the Anti-Monitor will be returning, so he goes from universe to universe to see which one can help him, and he does this by testing them. He gives a Book of Destiny, which is something that can change reality, to some sort of madman. We know he went to Earth 90, there's a hint that he went to Earth 38, and he tested Superman, but in the end, he gets to Earth 1. So the Monitor gives the Book of Destiny to Dr. John Deegan, a man who works at Arkham Asylum and is obsessed with becoming the Flash. He accepts this power and he uses the book to make himself into the Flash. However, it doesn't turn out this way. Turns out that using the Book of Destiny has a bit of a learning curve, as per John Deegan himself, and instead of making him the Flash, he mistakenly switched the lives of Oliver Queen and Barry Allen. Barry Allen is now the Green Arrow, or at least the Green Arrow now looks like Barry Allen, and he knows that he used to be Barry Allen, and now the Flash looks like Oliver Queen, and he knows he used to be Oliver Queen, and this is their new reality. Oliver now has all of the Flash's abilities. The ones he used specifically are super speed, Healing factor, phasing, electrokinesis, superhuman durability, and superhuman stamina, but considering he seemingly has all of the powers that the Flash had during Season 5, things like aerokinesis, speed mirages, flash time, interdimensional travel, and time travel, all are probably abilities that Oliver Queen possessed in this altered reality. Now, as the Flash, he teamed up with Barry Allen as the Green Arrow. They went to Earth 38 to see if things have changed there, but they haven't, and Kara does know that the other is each other. They meet Superman, they both team up against Amazo, and then, or all four of them team up against Amazo and defeat him, and they all track down John Deegan after bringing back the Book of Destiny from Arkham Asylum and also teaming up with Batwoman. The Monitor crosses them, he takes the Book of Destiny, gives it back to John Deegan, and John Deegan alters reality yet again. It seems like at this point, John Deegan doesn't really care about the Flash's powers anymore. He's now more interested in Superman's powers, since in this new reality, he made himself into Superman. However, the reason I'm mentioning this new reality here is because this is the end of Oliver's time as the Flash, since in this new reality, he doesn't have any powers anymore. He's not the Flash, he's a Trigger Twin, and that is that. So that's the end of Oliver's time as the Flash. Again, probably the most fun and entertaining time that he got powers. However, not only is it not the last time he did, but also not really the last time he did in Elseworlds. Near the end of Elseworlds, Barry and Kara come up with this kind of stupid plan to try to stop time by running and flying around the world at a certain speed. While they're doing this stupid thing, which they know is going to kill them, Oliver goes to the Monitor and pleads for their lives and even makes a deal to give up his own life for them. In this moment, the Monitor agrees, and also he sees that Oliver and Earth 1, along with maybe the help of Earth 38, is worthy of potentially stopping and saving the multiverse, stopping the crisis, and he bestows Oliver with this metaphysical arrow, which is what the Arrowverse wiki calls it. I like to call it the cosmic arrow because it looks like it's glowing with cosmic energy, but using this arrow, Oliver shoots it at John Deegan, who's holding the Book of Destiny, and this not only destroys the Book of Destiny, but also reverses any reality change and also defeats John Deegan. Now, you can't say this is just a trick arrow that happens to be able to destroy the Book of Destiny, but I would actually say that because of its cosmic origins and because of how powerful it is, not only able to destroy the Book of Destiny, but also reverse any reality change that it made, I do think that it maybe constitutes being called a power. I would say that it's on par, or it's kind of similar to the likes of maybe Dr. Fate's helmet or the Green Lantern rings, which are items that give the users abilities, but they're not really the abilities of the user. Their abilities of the item, and I think the cosmic arrow is similar. I don't think anybody else could have picked up that arrow. I don't think anybody else could have shot it. It was only Oliver, and because of that, Oliver had the power to shoot this cosmic arrow and destroy the Book of Destiny. And finally, we get to the second crossover in a row where Oliver got powers, Crisis on Infinite Earths. In this crossover, Oliver, in the end of part 1, sacrificed his life to save over 1 billion people on Earth 38. However, that was nowhere near the end of Oliver's heroics, as after an episode where Barry and a couple other people revive him, they go to Purgatory using the help of Lucifer, and in Purgatory, which it turns out they didn't really need to do any of this, they didn't need to revive him, they didn't need to go there, as Oliver is approached by Jim Corrigan. Jim Corrigan is in the comics is one of the most powerful superheroes, known as the Spectre. However, here, something that's never happened in the comics ever is that Jim Corrigan offers his powers to Oliver Queen. Oliver Queen accepts, and he becomes the new Spectre. With the divine empowerment of the Spectre, Oliver has certain abilities such as nigh omnipotence, interdimensional travel, time travel, levitation, energy shield, superhuman strength on Anti-Monitor's level, antimatter manipulation, matter manipulation, and in the end, he's somehow able to even recreate the multiverse, and that's all exactly what he does. He manages to unlock Barry's abilities, which is technically another power he does have. He time travels back to the dawn of time, and while the Paragons are fighting the Shadow Demons, he fights the Anti-Monitor. The Anti-Monitor is the person who destroyed the entire multiverse. That's an infinite amount of people, an infinite amount of universes, and Oliver has managed to one-on-one him, which really shows how powerful he is at this point. He manages to defeat the Anti-Monitor, at least for a little bit, but he does die. However, in his death, he recreates the multiverse. The multiverse is different from what it was before, but you might say that's actually even better. But that is the last time that Oliver, not only the last time Oliver ever really did anything, the last time that he fought anybody, but obviously also the last time that he ever got powers, as in the Arrowverse, he became not one, but two other very, very powerful DC heroes, the Flash and the Spectre. And that is every time Oliver Queen got powers. Some of them I think worked very well, like especially him becoming the Flash or even him becoming the Spectre, while other ones like him getting magic in Season 4, I don't really like that very much, but that is every time that he did get powers. Let me know which one of them is your favorite, which one of them is your least favorite, and which other powers do you think maybe he should have gotten in which stories. Let me know in the comments down below, and if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.